Hello everybody, welcome back. Let's have a look at Bitcoin here just very briefly. Let's get rid of some of these. I don't need to know about that. So this is Bitcoin here on the daily, and it's a bit of a continuation of what we were talking about yesterday, which is that at the moment we have had a nice bounce. That was mainly on the 4-hourly bullish divergence that played out to a large extent. And now we do look as though we are forming a lower high, which is consistent with the downtrend, which is what I'm kind of expecting. Doesn't mean that I'm a massive bear, or I'm calling for the end of the world or anything like that. Downtrends, is part of the game. You get uptrends, you get downtrends. Is this going to be a bear market? I don't think so. I think if we do have a downtrend, we'll establish some new lower lows, maybe some new lower highs, and then we will turn around when the time is right. But as of yesterday, we've tried to reclaim the 200 exponential on the 4-hourly. This is a very important key area to break above and stay above, because it's being below here, which has caused this death cross, which then forged the continuation, and then we had our bearish divergence, 1 tap, 2 tap, 3 tap bounce, and that looks like it's played out now, and the momentum is shifting back to a downtrend. Now, it isn't, like I say, the end of the world. Having a healthy correction is part of a bull market. And getting that reaccumulation at perhaps maybe a lower level to encourage more people to buy at safer or more appropriate levels is fine. Now we've got two things to think about, which is bullish. We've also got on the weekly we're still above the 20 weekly. Even if we came down to test it, that's fine. If we wicked below it, that would be fine too. Even if we came down to these previous support zones here, which would be around about $38,000. That would also be fine. Worst case scenario, we could come down to $31,500 wherever this green 50 exponential is, or even down to $29,000. All of that is still relatively okay to me. The way that this chart looks and on the long run is pretty good. I'd be surprised to see us break down further than this level, $38,000. I would be surprised to see that, but I'm not ruling it out. Now, if we have a look at the money flow index, we're looking okay still. We've got this uptrend of support being respected so far. This has held up for every pullback that we've had. Even the March crash had a higher low. So, at the moment, this is holding up very well, and we're having an uptick now. But speaking of the money flow index, if we go down to the daily, this is the weird thing, the thing that makes me a bit more concerned than I would do normally, which is that since this peak here, the money flow index has basically gone straight down, all the way down, even in the face of this pump here. So we had a bounce here of about 17%, but the money flow index doesn't represent any kind of money entering the market. The volume was still low, but the candle was quite high. So there's a number of reasons why this could be. But if you go back on the chart here on the daily, there's absolutely nothing in Bitcoin's history that is any way similar to this. This is new. I've not seen this on Bitcoin. This is a very strange read that we're getting here. Normally, when you have any kind of uptick, especially an aggressive one of over 10%, which this was 17 or maybe a bit more percent, you'd expect the money flow index to come up with it, suggesting volume, entering the market, money entering the market, but we didn't get that. Could be to do with shorts being liquidated at high levels, perhaps, a massive short squeeze. That could be part of the reason that the candle was formed, but the money wasn't entering the asset. But at the moment, I don't like the way it looks, and because of that, I'm quite happy just to sit back and wait and watch what happens. If we enter into an uptrend, I will play. If we go down to make more lower lows, then I will buy. But at this level right now, that's strange enough for me to sit back and go, well, I've not really seen that before. I'm not really sure how to interpret that, and it's not filling me with any clues as to what really is going to go on, on this daily chart. So because of that, I'm happy to sit back and wait and watch. And I'm not anyone's financial advisor, but if anyone were to ask me, I would probably say that's probably the best thing to do. The chart does look like it wants to continue to go down. This very much does look like it could be a lower high. So if that is the case, and then this is strange, then it does lend itself to maybe another lower low that's somewhere along the lines over the next week or so. Now, I am quite bullish on the long term, and also I quite like the way that altcoins are looking as well. If you look at the Bitcoin dominance just very briefly, we're making new lows now as well, which obviously means that the market cap is being drained from Bitcoin, it's going into altcoins, and a rotation is still in play. This might be the case that if we do start to come down again with Bitcoin making new lows, we can use Bitcoin as our main indicator to establish where those lows could be, and there's a number of places where they could be. We've just touched on them now, and we could think about buying the dips with these strong altcoins. Now, twice a week we do Patreon live streams. It's £7.50 a month, and you get 16 hours worth of live streams a month. And basically, most of what we do there is look at, you know, altcoin after altcoin after altcoin. And the thing that we did on Tuesday when we were looking through all these altcoins is that a lot of them versing their Bitcoin pairings, not all of them, but there's quite a lot of them, they're actually in established uptrends now on their Bitcoin pairings. So if you judge them by their charts, right, and some of these charts were very strong, then using the Bitcoin as your main indicator for where the dip might come down to, and then obviously the market is all very much correlated. All altcoins will come down with Bitcoin, but if we have uptrends, more established, more healthy looking charts on some of these altcoins, they might be the ones that we want to buy the dips of. But you don't just buy them blindly. You obviously have to navigate that dip through the use of Bitcoin, as in we need to work out where Bitcoin's likely to come down to, and then we can transfer that knowledge of that dip and that support onto other altcoins, and then buy those dips for more lucrative bounces, which is what they might only be bounces. If Bitcoin goes into a sustained downtrend for maybe weeks or months, then we will be playing that. But we had this similar kind of thing going on in January, where Bitcoin was in a downtrend. It wasn't an official bear market. It was a healthy consolidation, but it was getting quite nasty. But throughout this entire time in January, altcoins were going up, and we employed that strategy back here. So every time Bitcoin made another step down, we used that as an opportunity to buy the dips in altcoins, which were a lot stronger than Bitcoin, and they were making higher highs. So every time they made a dip with Bitcoins, the Bitcoin brought the market down, and we bought the altcoin dips, which went up. As Bitcoin was downtrending, altcoins on the whole were uptrending quite significantly, and we were getting our appropriate entry points based upon Bitcoin. We were using Bitcoin as the overall indicator of the market. Say, okay, I think it's going to come down now. Let's wait. Came down, bought the altcoin of your choice, dip, and then sailed that up to a new high. Most of the time, new all-time highs for some of these altcoins. It was a very good strategy that we used back then, and I think it might be the appropriate strategy to take this now. If we do go into a downtrend, Bitcoin will be going down with new lows, lower lows and lower highs. But altcoins may not be doing that. Altcoins will be going down with Bitcoin, but then bouncing to an extent where they might even be making higher highs, as you can see with Ethereum right now. And I think there's a few on the cards that might be doing that too. Again, we established a lot of these altcoins on Tuesday on our live stream, so we kind of know where we're at. We're doing another live stream tomorrow, so we can have a look at them all over again. So this goes hand in hand with a general rotation that also might explain the strange anomaly of this money flow index. But again, there is a lot of reason for concern in the market overall, although I would expect it only to be short term. Maybe even by just a few weeks, we will be out of the woods. There was a lot, and again, when we're looking at altcoins, another thing we were doing when we were looking at altcoins, it does appear that in May there's going to be a lot more freedom for altcoins to rally hard. So I'm very much in favour of doing this strategy, buying the altcoin dips of the appropriate charts, the charts which are strong versus Bitcoin, and strong on their own charts, of course. And we can still crush this market while Big Daddy Bitcoin decides it has to go and have a little rest. Anyway, I'm going to leave it with you there, but thank you for watching. I hope you have a nice day. Take it easy.